Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Welcome in. Welcome in. Happy Memorial Day. Please join and have tea with me. Our lively daily morning and evening chat. It makes our channel extremely unique, and I am so thankful that you all participate. Without this, there would be no channel, and there would be, I guess, no place to vent. So I am here. This is Nonya. Welcome in. Good morning, Juanita. Welcome in. Thank you for coming today. Hopefully this will be a good day. It is Memorial Day, and people are probably traveling or having, outdoor picnics and barbecues, cookouts. So I hope everything is well with you and yours. I think I'm early. I believe I think I changed it to 9:30, but I'm okay today. How are you doing? Hi, Antoinette. Welcome in. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for joining us today. It is Memorial Day, and I thank you all for being here. So I did get kudos from YouTube today. I actually spoke, not verbally, but I was able to reach out to somebody to find out what was going on with my channel. And not only did they find it to be a strong channel, I did find out what the holdup was. So I feel better. And Antoinette, I'm sorry I could not get the moderator wrench on. I don't know why. I did have to get another moderator, but sometimes people do want to say they've changed their mind or whatever. Not often, but if they do, we'll try it again. I just really don't know. I honestly don't know, Antoinette. I put it on, it came off. I put it on, it came off. So my apologies for that, but I don't know. I clicked on your name, it looked fine. So anyway, thank you for coming. So I am early. I'm not sure if we set it for 9:05. Hi, Hope. If we set it for 9:05 or 9:30. Last week was a long week. I'm still looking at videos, but I'll go into that later. I'm glad you guys are here. Hi, Carolyn Brown. Welcome in. I'm adjusting this as usual. So, Carolyn, thank you for the service of any chat member or whose family members served and died for our country. My son does serve currently, so my prayers are always with him. Always. And for anyone else who had military or have military, thank you. Thank you. Did everyone have a good weekend? Are you doing anything special today? Anything at all? Any cookouts or how's your weather? Is it okay for going out and about today? It's pretty cold here. I won't be going anywhere. If it's 50 degrees, I'm freezing. So, and I did watch skits this morning. Carolyn, I was totally wrong all the way around. Hope. I thought I was thinking Wayne's going to give her another chance. Nope. Nope. And I am happy when Denisha was told by Tamara and then it clicked in her head who the players were. Denisha said, "Oh, H no," about Anthony. So that made me chuckle. Good morning, Angela Atkinson. How's my niece today? How are you? Hi, Betty. Welcome in. Happy Memorial Day, everybody. Welcome in, Betty. How was your getaway? You made it back, I see. Safe travels. Always a wonderful thing. Always. So did everybody get to look at some skits this morning? If you guys want to talk about skits. If you don't want to talk about skits, we don't have to talk about skits. You know that. I am good, Auntie. Bored with, I thought about you guys yesterday, and we did go to church, and then we went to brunch, and then I said maybe I should get on, and my husband said no, maybe you shouldn't, because I think he must have saw something in me, and he said let's just go hang out. So we went over to the water, and we just hung out. He said I needed to relax. So that's why I didn't come on. I'm so sorry you were bored yesterday. I am. This is my work day. I figured, Hope. In your yard, putting out. Oh, are you? I love annuals. I know they're beautiful. I haven't done anything in our yard yet, but maybe I will. You celebrate Labor Day in Jamaica? Okay. Happy Labor Day, Angela. Happy Labor Day. And I did miss you guys yesterday. I thoroughly did. But then I thought, my husband's right, because the whole YouTube thing. But I did find out this morning, I got a chance to actually chat with hopefully a person. I think it was a person. I don't think it was a bot. And found out, why is my channel struggling? Because our lives have good marks, just so you people know. So everybody knows we're doing something right and we're doing something different. So that is awesome. I told a lot of you about that strange questionnaire that popped up on one of my videos the other day, and it knew I had deleted like 51 shorts. It knew all kinds of things. And it was just asking me, questions and why we liked Amber, what we didn't like, just not a summary. It was something that was sent to YouTube. And that was interesting. So I just wanted to share that because I did tell a few people. And Denise says, hi, Nonya sis, or Nonya chat and chat family. So yes, we are still buttercups. We are still chatters. And that's not going to change. Am Bam is our girl. Yes, she is. And when I tell you they asked me, why did we like Amber? I mean, they asked me that. What was special about Amber? That was the most interesting questionnaire I've ever seen. They're watching our channel. They're watching the tea. They're watching the wind down. And then they wanted to know how it fit in with Country Wayne reviews. It was really interesting. But when they asked why we liked Amber, and I told them, both in the skits and outside in real life, it was just an amazing summary of questions, a listing of questions. And then I told them about our music, our food, the things that we do. And it was just great. Hi, Magnolia. Magnolia says hi to all the SKIT family. Simply, you are here. Welcome in, welcome in. Everybody's saying welcome in. And I missed you guys yesterday. I really did. I do anyway. You know that. I always tell you. But my husband says, no, I'm going to take you to unwind, because I'm stressing like, what's wrong with our channel? What's wrong with my channel? But the news I got this morning just said, I basically need another 1,000 because they take like 2,500 if you don't qualify right before the cutoff. And I missed the cutoff by 2 points, but that's okay. So that part was really good. And he said, just get your 4,000 hours again. So I've got half of that. So that's a great thing because they will take it away. I guess that's just how their revenue process works. Okay, we've got everybody saying good morning. Donya, was that the questionnaire? It was a questionnaire. That questionnaire, that questionnaire was pointed at my channel. It was very specific, very, and it was interesting. Why are they asking, why do we like Amber so much? Like, it, I got the impression they're trying to figure out where to put the tea and where to put the wine. They didn't know if they connected to something else or not. And so I put Country Wine Review. And it just took off from there. It was really good. Hi, Emmy. How are you, Emmy girl? And simply says, Wayne is trifling, always pushing everyone to cheat and pursue things they should have. That little devil, what you say? That little devil on people's shoulders hate how they all go to him and trust him. Silly advice. And I was so happy that I was wondering, because he had that little look on his face, if he really was going to. It looked like he might have been thinking about, Tamara, but nope. And see, Magnolia, why didn't Wayne have the same words for Ant that he had for Amber? Bro code, Magnolia. Oh, yeah. Believe me, bro code. He'll tell Anthony one thing and tell Amber something different. Just like we know Anthony's not making any money. Magnolia, remember, he told Amber, because he's my business partner, we make money together. But he had just told Anthony that he wasn't making any money. I'm sorry, my eyes are watering, of course. I did take an allergy pill this morning. It's really cold here for me. Miss Job, been a long weekend. Hope everyone's doing well. I hope you're doing well across the pond as well, Abby. But yes, Wayne should have asked Anthony, have you signed the papers? Carolyn, that would have been a good thing for him to ask, right? No, he's not going to. And again, I guess it's bro code. Who knows? Men are from Mars, women are from Venus, right? And Betty, I hope you had a wonderful trip. Angela Atkinson says, so he can encourage him to cheat, but can't tell him to sign the papers and set Amber free. That's true. Be sure to hit the like button. Thank you, Magnolia. Simply says, Magnolia, yes. Triplet advice to Amber is always for her to live in fear and question herself, never to choose herself. And, maybe there's a reason not that Amber's the star, but maybe there's a reason, because a lot of beautiful women, smart women, they do have low self-esteem. And I wonder if he's trying to show us something with the Amber character. I'm not sure, but there's something about the Amber character where Wayne keeps doing these things. Don't know what it is, though. And Magnolia, Wayne might be in his feelings because Amber said they are done. And he knew she meant that. He also knows. Oh, you came to sip some tea, Carla. Thank you. And I had to get a new teacup, if you guys have noticed, because apparently, I guess the pictures that are in the software, they must last for a week, and then they do a refresh. because no matter what I tried, I couldn't get the same one. I did get different ones. Good morning, Michael Brown. Michael, no. I mean, it's not Anthony that would be giving it to her. Actually, it would be the court. But Michael, and I know this from my first divorce from a football player, and I didn't want his money, is that 50% in an equitable state, it's just a negotiating tactic. It's not like that's what they expect her to get. That is a negotiating tactic, the starting point. And normally in the regular world, not KW's world, but in the regular world, I know that California and Georgia's laws are quite similar. And in an equitable state, you ask for 50%. They go to mediation, they try to hash things out, and if they can't hash it out, the judge will make the final decision. So for people who are thinking, and not just you, Michael, that she's automatic. Happy Memorial Day, Michael. That she's automatically gonna get 50%. No, it's just for negotiations. Truly, trust me. Take it from me. I know. And Michael, you know what happened to me? I was married to a football player who had been drafted, and I was married to him for a while. But when I told the judge I didn't want alimony or anything, I had a really, really good job. I just wanted to move on, and it wasn't a bad thing. I just didn't like the lifestyle. And the judge asked me why didn't I want alimony, and I told him, hey, I have a good job, and I had a really good job, and he gave me alimony anyway. And I was like, okay, that's fine, but I didn't. I wasn't asking for anything. And exactly, Magnolia, there is no prenup, so there's no telling what a judge would do in this case. And in my case, there was no prenup. I mean, when I married him, he was about to get drafted, but I had known him for a long time. So when he got drafted, it was fine, but I just wanted to share that with Michael. It's up to the judge, but 50% is typically a negotiating tactic. That's all it is. And, lawyers will they'll tell you the truth, but they'll tell you the best part, and then they do tell you the worst part. So Anthony's lawyer said Amber can get more than 50%, and that's because there's a child. If we remember back when the first time around, and the first time around could still matter depending on the judge. If the judge says admit the first petition for a divorce, it will count. And because she told Anthony he could get up to 80%, have to give her up to 80%. And then the other thing also is that a lot of people forget that, I mean, we didn't forget, but they forget that Amber helped save him from bankruptcy. She also, and Roe, but Amber paid Roe back. They also forget that Amber kept that house from going into bankruptcy. But for new people who don't know, they don't know that piece, right? They don't know that. So they're thinking Amber has never done anything. She saved him when he lost his money, because we know when he said he had 30 million when he came, but he didn't. He had 3 million that he could work with Wayne and Roe. So he was lying from the jump, right? So anyway, just some information to put out there, because a lot of people, they do not know that Amber helped him save his fortune. And I do want to make sure that people know that, because when I do look in the Country Wayne comments, so many of them don't realize that Anthony would probably not have enough money to be hiding. And if anything, when the judge finds that out, that she helped save that house and him from bankruptcy, but he'll never say it. He never admits that she helped him, right? Never. It's always, I made that money. Well, she helped you not go bankrupt, Anthony. But Anthony forgets that. He forgets it on purpose. He doesn't want to give her any credit. Anyway, good morning, Michael. Good to see you in here. I look like I just woke up, but I've been up since 5 o'clock. Interesting. Okay, let's see. Sip away, Carla. Enjoy your tea. Carolyn, I don't think Denisha will listen. She sees dollar signs. Angela Atkinson, she is the shark. Remember when they first came? Denisha was actually the head of the crew. It was Denisha, Melissa, but Melissa was with JMO. It was Momo, and wasn't there one other girl, or was it just those three? But Denisha is a shark. So if Anthony pursues her, Denisha is not a pushover. Mm-mm. And Tamara says, stay away from him. I thought Denisha would remember, not know who Anthony was, but she would put the pieces together when Erica and Shayla got into it at the birthday party, right? About Shayla's baby and Shayla's baby daddy. But she didn't put them together. But when Tamara told her, she said, oh, I'll say heck no. So and remember, she went on a date with Wayne's brother and he left her stuck with the check. Wow. Wayne's World, Wayne's World. Anthony won't sign because he know Amber might get more. Mm-hmm. Correct, Angela. It's up to the judge. It is up to the judge. Hey, Michael, everybody's saying hello. There's no prenup. Correct, Magnolia. And Anthony knows there's no prenup. He knows. And Amber might end up getting more than Anthony. Don't have a say, so. And then Anthony's lawyer and Amber can get more than 50%. And remember, Amber didn't even want his money the first time around. She wanted the house. But then later, around the Victor time, she said, I don't want this house because I can't maintain this house. Remember, the gardener was there, and she realized she can't afford to keep that house. But that's all she wanted. She didn't even want his money. I'm Michael saying hello, ladies, everybody in the chat. George Sims might be here. Michael listening. Street Poet is here sometimes. And he chats, but I don't see, I guess, all of the chats. So I don't see all of the comments. I see them afterward because I will replay the video, and I like to listen to myself to see if I made any errors so I can correct them. But I was surprised. I actually thought about Alexis this morning, and I thought, Wayne's kind of looking at Tamara. Is he going to change his mind? Nope, he didn't change his mind. Glad Amber didn't tell Wayne the thing about Dave. Absolutely not. She knows better. Because remember, Magnolia, the day she said, Anthony is not a god and neither is Wayne a god, she took them off the pedestal that she had those two men on. She took them off. And I was happy when she did that because she did have them both on a pedestal. Simply says they need to speed up this divorce, more skits with lawyers and paperwork. We are so over the fussing and no progress. On top of that, Ben and Danielle, same lies and manipulation. We are stuck in a loop. And I think, are they working on a storyline? And to be perfectly honest, we don't like the cheating. None of us do. We all know we don't like it. But I truly, in all honesty and sincerity, want to see a divorce at this point. And the reason I say that is because they have taken a sledgehammer to the Daltons' marriage, like literally bashed it up like Amber's dad said Anthony did to Amber's heart. The same thing has been done to this marriage. So why don't we just start fresh with another storyline? Add another storyline to it. Because Anthony and Amber right now, who's going to be happy if they go back together at this point? I don't think anybody would be happy. Whether you're pro Amber, pro Anthony, pro shoes, Doesn't matter. I don't know that anyone would be happy. Nonya, I sent you a comment on one of the replays. In the morning, I came in as a tea sipper and I come on wind down as a chatter. Carla, if I didn't respond, that's because I didn't see your comment, but I will take a look. I'm not sure which one it is. Sometimes I'll go into studio to look because there's so much behind the scenes. You have no idea. There's so much. And I'm still making sure I don't even want to have video anymore because I think something's coming with the video, the use of video. But I do see people using a whole lot of video. I'm like, what are they doing? But anyway, that's not my business. My business is just to make sure I get my 4,000 hours back in 28 days. This is the third day of this cycle, and we do get them back. And I say we because you guys are always rolling with me. You're always rocking with me. And I love that you guys are here. You're some of the smartest people that I've seen. You are. You're very good at finding clues, and we know who Dave is now. We know he's an ex-ball player for the Supersonics. So kudos, because our private eyes are on point. You guys are on point. And then with the David and Bathsheba story, yeah, all I can do is say, great job. My subscribers are on point. I do have people who say, oh, blah, 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 negative, 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 but there are always negative people in the world. We try to stay neutral, but we are Team Amber. We don't like the cheating, but we really don't like what she's been through in this little piece of a marriage. So, and that's why I went on Amber's live and I said, Amber, please subscribe to my channel. I'm sure she didn't see it, but I did put it in there. Magnolia, let's see. Angela Atkinson says, Magnolia, Amber knows about the bro code and knows that Wayne would tell her business for money. He would tell Anthony just to needle Anthony. He would just do it to hurt Anthony. He doesn't like Anthony, and Anthony doesn't like him. And then Carolyn says that would be a coincidence, but Denisha going after Anthony, she's not listening to Tamara. I think you're right. She might be going after his money because Denisha is, I don't know, somebody called Denisha the pimp of the Momo Melissa group. It's like, but she's more no nonsense Denisha is. So let's hope they don't change her character. Leave her alone. Just leave Denisha the way she is. Mary, good morning, Mary. If Anthony mess around Denisha, Shayla's going to be mad. Now, Denisha might do that to make Shayla mad because I don't think she likes Shayla too much. Magnolia said, I would love for Dave to suggest that Amber drop out of the podcast. He didn't suggest it at the fair, but he did hint to her, she might want to think about it. So we shall see. Wayne wants her on that podcast because Magnolia, I think Wayne just I think all Wayne wants to know is who she's dealing with. That's why he told her in their last conversation, I'm going to be asking questions too. What does Wayne want to know? I mean, I know he wants to know a lot, but Wayne wants to know who Amber's messing around with. And then he said, now remember, you have to tell the truth. And what if it turns out that Amon and Dave know each other? Because they're both ex-ball players. They're both retired ball players. And keep that in mind, right? And then, let's see. Except Dave does something different now. Hi, Nature. Welcome in. Good morning, Nonya, moderators, and chat family. Good morning, Nature. Good morning. And I hope everybody has their tea or coffee or water, Pepsi, Coke, whatever you drink in the morning. And what happened to Denisha and Wayne's brother Quentin right off? Nature, I think after he left Denisha with that check, because remember, she didn't like him anyway. She went on the date. And then he left her with the check. He claimed he didn't have enough money. I think that right there sent Denisha running for the hills, even faster than she was already trying to run to the hills. So we haven't seen them together anymore. And Carolyn Brown says the way Anthony keeps Wayne's name in his mouth and how his commenters, no matter what the skit is about, they will drop Amber's name saying she did it too. And that's just not true. I didn't see her walking down and destroying Rose's wedding, did you guys? But, they want to whitewash Anthony. We don't, do we care? I don't care, personally. I could care less about Anthony Dalton. I think he was a phony then when he came, and he's still a phony. I think Anthony is who we see right now. He pays women so they don't leave him. He pays strippers. He paid Chantel's baby $1 million because he thought it was his child. And then Shayla, he knows that Shayla wants money. Shayla will do anything for money. He's standing there smirking over the weekend when he was getting checked hard by Amon. Whether Amon meant it or not, I hope Anthony feels this big, like this big, because of it. And Anthony said all relationships can end. In other words, don't be so arrogant. They're both arrogant. Don't be so arrogant, Amon, because I might just be able to take Shayla from you. That's what I took from that conversation. But they're just messy. They're messy. It's like, good gracious. Anthony just wants somebody that he can control. That's true. And with Shayla, it would be with the money. But also, he doesn't mind Shayla hitting on him and kicking him and Angelina. And has he thought about all that? I guess he's like, yes, ma'am. I don't think Denisha would be tied into Anthony's web. Nature, I don't either. She doesn't quite fit. Let's see. High Street Poet, welcome in. Denisha is the future of the show. Amber is the past. Well, seeing that she's Wayne's #1 actress, and right now she's the moneymaker, I don't think I would call her the past. Not quite yet. Not yet. Unless she ventures out into more things like movies, because we follow Street Poet, we follow her, we follow a few people. And so we don't know these people, but you can tell when someone's acting, when they're fake. And Amber's not a gatekeeper. We know where she shops. I mean, she shops at TJ Maxx and Ross, and the only time she goes into Gucci is to buy perfume. She shares all of her secrets. I have some of the products she uses. She shares juicing. So Amber has a following, not so much because of the skits, but because of Amber the person. And her whole family, they're talented musicians, actresses. She's a pastor's kid. So we know a lot about the character throughout all of this when she started doing the lives. And it's not just Amber in the skits that we like. And I don't think a lot of people realize that that's why Amber's got so many, 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 many followers. This is YouTube. If you go to Facebook, you will see the strength of Amber's army. She has an army of followers. So just some information for people who don't know why a lot of Amber supporters are as strong for Amber as they are. It has a lot to do with the person. Okay, and then Angela says, good morning. Abby, I saw that, almost responded to the comment. was lame enough on its own. So I went back to drink my water. I was actually hoping, well, I guess kind of hoping, not fully hoping that Wayne would say, "Oh, I made a mistake." But of course, I'm hoping against hope, right? I knew Wayne wasn't going to say that. I just wanted to see something fresh. But I guess I'll stop looking for fresh. And then, Carla, I see that coming. Hi, Gwen. Welcome in. Please hit the like button and share and subscribe. And Gwen, I did have a conversation with YouTube, so maybe I'll share that with you later. I did share it with the people here, and I was telling them how I got that questionnaire, like why do we like Amber? And I told them, about the real Amber that at least we see her as when she does the live. She popped on this weekend, and she's in there dancing or doing whatever she's doing. She's kind of goofy. She wears sweatshirts like me and jeans and tennis shoes, hangs out with her son. She has clothes closets where she sells her clothes to us. Quite a few people do own pieces that she's auctioned off for very little money, so things like that. That's why Amber has such a strong following. Street poet, just so you know. It's not the character per se. In the character, we liked her being the wife she was, but we did like Amber before that because we've been following Amber for quite a while. Okay. And Ernestine as well. And Ernestine, Amber, Brittany, they're extremely religious. Um, Brittany, as we know, is an attorney. Someone says she's a judge now. I don't know. And let's see. Clown activities in the chat. Magnolia, you're funny. So Shayla is not Angelina's daughter. She is sincerely Carla. That might be. We don't know, but that was an interesting ending to that skit. I better call Shayla. Carla, what did that mean? I can't wait to find out. I better call Shayla. Angela says good morning. I'm sorry, Nature said good morning, Angela. And hi, Nature. Hi, Street Poet. And Carla says, hey, Gwen and Angela. Hi, Mary. Marvelous Monday. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you. Thank you, Carolyn. Good morning, Mary and Street Poet, says Gwen. Let's see. Thanks, everyone, for joining NONYASISCHAT chat. She appreciates you, and I do appreciate you. I really did think about you guys yesterday, and my husband said, no, you need to unwind because I guess he saw me stressing up. I don't have a poker face. As most of you know, I don't have a poker face. But he was right. I did care. I had, just stuff on my mind. And plus I was tired of looking at videos and just trying to figure out what was wrong. But I found out. And it was something, well, it's another story, but there's nothing wrong with our channel. The channel is strong. And so that's why I wasn't understanding what's going on, But now I think I do know. I don't care about Amber cheating. Pick a new narrative. That's all they got right now. You know that lady? Magnolia, that's all they got. And there are some people are just going to not like just because they don't like them, and that's okay. And like the clothes she wears on the shelf, people don't know that she has a clothes closet sale all the time. She sells clothes that she has never worn. She sells them to her audience. And so for people who don't know that, I do like to share that information. Shayla may have been adopted. Nature says, Carla, I was thinking this too when I watched the skit. My mouth dropped open, and I was thinking Sincerely was an enemy, right? Or whatever her real name is. My mouth dropped open. Or she could be a sister. She could be a surrogate. She quickly went to talk with Shayla. First thing she said, and I did say, is Shayla adopted one time, a while back? Is Shayla adopted? There's something about Shayla. So I'm definitely wanting to see it. Where's Bethany? She's missing, probably at her parents'. But you know, the strange part, why was all the bedding off the bed for Bethany? That was pretty strange. The bedding, maybe she wants Larry to worry. Sincerely could be Angelina's sister. Nature, you're right. That could be Angelina's sister. Mm-hmm. But she zoomed to go call Shayla. So maybe we're getting a little bit of the backstory now. Angela says, Nature, maybe the writer's bringing up a not so popular character like they did Tamara. But people never liked Tamara and Wayne. You know, they probably make a good couple in real life, but not on the skits. They don't. Y'all gonna make, y'all see my girl Kiki make Terry cry? I did. I've been peeking at Kiki, watching her. But hi, Marion, welcome in. Welcome in. You know, the thing I like about Kiki, even though she's out of line, she says what she thinks. Because, like she said, I get it from you adults. Even though Sydney put her up to misbehaving, I was happy when she told Libby that what she did basically was wrong. I mean, Libby just shipped her and Sydney, to a boarding school. That was horrible. And to make a child think you don't like them, you don't want them around. And Sydney did it, kicked it off, I should say, by telling, Kiki to act ugly. And then Libby and Sydney decided, oh, she's too bad now, so we're gonna get rid of her and not tell Terry where she is. So yeah, Magnolia, I saw it. Let's see. Marion says, Happy Memorial Day, Nonya and chat family. Happy Memorial Day to you as well, Marion. And then Gwen says, Carla, that's what it seems like. Himmy girl. Himmy says, because we know how Anthony really is, seeing him hit on women makes him seem like a creep. Mm-hmm. And not wanting to let go of Amber makes him seem kind of creepy. And remember Himmy girl, he told Amber a while back, way back, that he would always be in her life. What does that mean? What does that mean? Kiki is the realest in Skitlanta. Yep, she is. And Abby says, Magnolia, it's the trolls. We've been doing a good job of ignoring them. Let's keep it that way. It hurts them to find a positive page, especially when it's about Amber. So, moderators, if it's a good comment, let it stand. If it's not, please remove it. Please. Okay. But as far as, the people that we have so far, I'm good with it. They're okay. Because I mean, there are questions I don't mind answering because people just don't know. And that's why I said the things about Amber that I did say, as far as why we like Amber. I mean, that's why I like Amber. Not necessarily the Amber that's in the skits. I like the Amber in the skits too. I didn't like her at first, of course not. But, but that's why Amber has the strong following. And people they don't know because they don't follow like we do. They just see the skits every day and listen to the commenters who just don't like Amber. And that's what they roll with. But we know better. That's why we do what we do, right? Okay, let's see. Angela, they are trying to test to see how the audience will respond to positioning the characters, including couples. I would never thought Denisha with Ant. Well, if Ant gets with Denisha, I think he's going to be sorry because Denisha, she is not the one to play with. She's not, unless they dumb her down. But you know, we shall see. Yes, Abby, is what Magnolia says. Antoinette, please hit the like button, share, and subscribe. Thank you, Antoinette. Angela Atkinson, those are going crazy. Miss Fatal, good morning. Good morning. I hope you had a great weekend. Good morning. Have a blessed Monday. Happy Memorial Day to everyone who has someone in the service, whether it's present or in the past. Okay. So, and hear me, girl, the difference between Amber and Dave is neither one of them were trying to go after each other. Their connection happened organically. And that's what I call that thunderbolt. It happened. And that's why when Dave used the word godsend, and I do ask the question, I could be totally wrong, is Dave Anthony's karma for Amber, for mistreating Amber? Is Dave Anthony's karma? Even though Dave is going to have to pay penance, is that it? Hi, Gigi. Welcome in. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Gigi says good morning, Nonya and chat. Happy Monday. Happy Monday to you too. Denisha, she's still our homie, kind of, but she's the person who checks in with Momo. And we noticed that she cut down her interaction with Momo a lot. She doesn't deal with Momo very much anymore. When they first came in, it was Momo, Denisha, Melissa, and there was another girl, um, but they didn't keep her on too long. Street Poet says Amber turned her leverage and angle in the storyline because she didn't go to school for writing, and it shows. Okay, this comment is about something personal, and we don't know that. And Wayne writes the majority of the Anthony, Shayla, Amber storyline, not Amber. Amber's writing, Street Poet, is more that of the beauty, like Dave's house, or I know Ernestine scouts for locations, but the designs, the pretty memory lane walks, those are Amber's writings. This is Wayne writing this, Street Poet. So please, when we want to report something, especially on this channel, let's make sure we have our facts in order. Okay? Please, let's do. These skits come off as copies. This they don't belong to Amber. They belong to Wayne. And that's what people don't understand. A lot of the people write their own. Street Poet Amber is doing more producing now than she is acting. So, Gwen, can you take care of that, please? Thank you, Gwen. Hi, Marion, or Magnolia, please. Don't think people want that the same way. They never want Wayne and Tamara. That's true. Gwen or Magnolia, can you handle that, please? Thank you. Hear me, girl. Anthony is going after Denisha. She's going in for all of his money. Hear me, girl? I'd say I'm with you on that. If she talks to him, it's all about his pockets. Because that's who she is. And she doesn't bite her tongue about it. She didn't bite her tongue with Momo, with Melissa. Melissa's the only one that wasn't really active like that. But Momo, look what she did to Rafi. And then Denisha said, well, you knew what you were doing. Why are you crying now? You know. So hopefully they don't take away the Denisha strength. She does stand on 10. And yeah, let her go after his money. Let them all go after his money for all I care. And I say for Delicia, you need a raise. I may not like what Delicia is doing, but I bet I'd add another 10,000 onto that monthly amount. Maybe 20,000. He doesn't like it, he can stop coming around. He's single. He can do what he wants. These women They don't have to put up with what they're putting up with. It's not that serious. I just don't want Delicia around Dave. Keep her away from Dave. Denisha has changed since working with Tamara. You think so, Carolyn? She's very protective of Tamara. But yeah, she actually, yeah, she has. No, you're right. She has, because I was surprised when she took the job. And she's on point with her work and everything. She's very protective. Yes, you are right, Carolyn. Good morning. Gigi says, good morning, Marion, Hemi Girl, Nature, Carol, Angela, and Street Poet, Magnolia, and Gwen. Wayne doesn't need to know Amber's business. No, Carla, he doesn't. And that's one reason that she may not want to go on the podcast, because he's definitely going to ask her who is she seeing. He's going to ask because he knows it. And I don't want to see Amber messing around with Wayne. For what? Let's do it again. What is that, Staple Singers? Let's do it again. For people old enough to know the Staple Singers? Not. And like Tina says, what's love got to do with it? I think Amber is over him. At least I hope so. They'll probably still be friends, but she sees the writing on the wall. I mean, that bro code nonsense with Wayne and Anthony, they don't even like each other. And I think Anthony just wants to stay in the streets like he is, and he doesn't mind paying for it. I might be going a little hard, and if I am, I don't mean to offend anyone, but I do not like Anthony Dalton. He's been the same Anthony ever since he came in the skits. And I think he was fake when he came, and I think this is the real Anthony Dalton. That's just my opinion. If you have a different one, please let me know, because I'd like to know your take. And then Simply, or Abby says, exactly, Hemi Girl. Annie is so cringe and creepy. Has zero game after washing Denisha up just to dirty her up. Hope she'll be a real one. As Tamara stopped drinking the Wayne and Shayla Kool-Aid. And it's time for Amber to put down that Shayla glass. Love Kai, but put down the Shayla glass, Miss Amber, because ain't nothing in it but poison or rattlesnake venom. Magnolia says, we don't know Skit Davis ex-ball player yet. No, not in the skit, Magnolia. I just meant in real life. So him and Amon probably know each other in real life. But on the set, yeah, he's a marketer. And the reason that I say he might be Anthony's karma is because Amber only needed a marketing specialist, and Anthony wouldn't even lift a finger to just call somebody that's a marketing specialist to go help Amber. And lo and behold, Melissa, I get them mixed up. Those two girls, I'm sorry, I mix up their names. And lo and behold, she meets Dave, who's a marketer, and that's what she needed for her restaurant. Anthony wouldn't even lift this much of a finger to help her. So that's why I say that. I have my green tea with plenty of lemons and honey. I'm so glad. I was drinking green tea, but I had a cold. But it helped. It really did work. So why is she in the hospital? That's why the bed looked like it did, Juanita. Because I'm not going to show skits anymore, because I want the channel to be clean so they can go ahead and give me my certification and I can move on. She might have had, maybe she's having a panic attack like Anthony. She systematically, and it's so sad that there are women who do this. She systematically tore up her marriage from being worried about the ex-wife. I mean, I don't know. Gigi said, I've missed so much, ladies. had a lot of things going on, family events and church projects. My heart has been hurting because of the disgusting writing of the Daltons. Us too. But I mean, it's been a year and a half of it though for me. And I've been over this storyline, Gigi, for a long time. When him and Shayla first got together, that broke my heart. It did. And then watching the apartment scenes and the fishbowl and the Angelina and the baby and Amber delivering the baby and all of that right there, that's why I'm so adamant about not being for Anthony and I'm not for Shayla. Because what they did to this woman and she wanted to unalive herself, mm-mm, the writing is atrocious as far as for any, not only Christian woman, but dedicated woman, any dedicated woman to her marriage. Um, E put the baby on a life insurance policy. And then Gigi says, I started liking Denisha. She better not mess with Amber's husband. Denisha wants the money, but then she has changed since she started working with Tamara. Magnolia Bethany is in the hospital. There's a new skit. Yes, Gigi. Please hit the like, share, and subscribe to NONYASISCHAT. Yes, it's free to subscribe, so please do. And then also, did Bethany have, well, something happened to her, huh? And let's see, Anthony is lining up Simone that no one knows. Not sure what that is, Marion. Did you mean to type Simone? Let me know, okay, in the comments. Wayne used the quote, Jesus is popping, the gutter is popping. I saw you put that in last week, Carla. The gutter is popping. Wayne just as messy as Shayla. He said they're both savages. And that's why I say, is Wayne going to end up with Shayla? I mean, we don't know when these little soap operas are going to end, if ever. But I do see Wayne and Shayla being together because they're both quite similar. Magnolia, I'm sure she's faking just like Anthony to get empathy from Larry. Gigi, that's a great call. Great call. Marion, good morning. Gigi and Gwen, how sad to be so pathetic. I really like the family trips, the road trips, and when they go places. I'm sorry that Bethany doesn't go, but she's always blowing things up, but I love when they go on. She's one of the best actors in the skits, period. Yep, she is, Magnolia. She actually is the best one. Her range for acting goes, I don't think it's met by anyone in the skits. From low to high, they don't meet her. And then Gigi says, Nonya, Amber has been a very generous woman and actress very early in her career. I have followed her for many years, and she's a Christian woman. Yes, she is a pastor's kid as well. And pastor children, the ones that I know, they typically make a lot of mistakes. Them and musicians' children, they get into a lot. Carolyn and Angela said, hello, Gigi, and good morning, Marion. Gigi says, Magnolia, she really is Wayne. She really is. Wayne may think that Shayla is his star. He wants to make her a star, and that's what he told us. He wants to make Shayla a star. He said it on TikTok. I heard him. Some people just don't have that ability to release and become the actor. Like Denzel says, you have to drop yourself and become the actor. And just even in high school summertime, when we took drama class at the park, they taught us that you have to come out of being yourself. You can't be inhibited in order to be a great actor or actress. And that's why when we find out who these people really are, a lot of times we're like not pleased because we don't know. We think we know who they are, but we don't. Let's see. And Shayla, no, Shayla cannot carry a storyline on her own. Amber and Anthony are strong actors who can carry an acting storyline on their own. Let's see. Gwen says Bethany had an episode of some sort. Abby says, based on the title of the new skit, guest Bottom Feeder is begging to keep this silly opportunity with Wayne because it's all she's got. How sad to not have anything to stand on, but you stay tricking. Okay, Carolyn Brown says Denisha rarely gets any skit time. Her storyline is connected to Tamara and not the future of Skitland. I agree. Maybe she has other things going on too outside, But I'm glad that she's not close to Momo anymore. And yeah. And whoever that other girl was, not Melissa, but there was a fourth girl. I think it was Melissa's cousin or somebody, some other girl. And then Carolyn says, yes, Bethany has flown the coop. Gigi says, if Shayla isn't Angelina's daughter, why does she favor so much over her real biological child, Zachary? I tell you something about Shayla. There's a dark storyline I think about Shayla. Marion, Anthony is still in love with his money no matter who he's trying to hit on, and Denisha won't change. He'll probably lie to her. But I do know Denisha knows that Amber is Shayla's baby's daddy's wife from the birthday party. Remember when she came in at the end and was telling Shayla to calm down? And then at the end, she stood there and she was speaking with Erica and Amber. And Amber kept telling her, she had a baby with my husband. Yeah, because she's crazy. New skit alert. Okay, Marion. I wish I could show the skits, but for now, I'm staying away from any footage from Country Wayne. I don't want any copyright notices. None of it. I just want my channel to go to get what it deserves to get for now. So otherwise, I could add it and then take it out right away. But for now, guys, hang in here with me, okay? Just report back. We want to know. We want to know. We want to know. Come on, let's go. Tell us what's going on out there. Please. If Ben wasn't connected to Abigail, I could see Abigail being a good fit for Anthony. Well, nature, you know what? Anthony and Ben are so much alike. So much alike. And I want to know what I'd like to know what the problem is with Danielle and Melissa, because their obsessive behavior is really odd for two people to be so obsessed with having someone to cling to. When a person is clingy, sometimes there's something going on about them. I don't know, loneliness or the loss of a loved one. I don't know, but something about those two girls is off. And then Abby says, Marion West, exactly. Wayne is a horrible friend to Amber. He doesn't love her. That's not love. When she called, he said he doesn't want to get involved. He's always done that. Yeah, he can gas up Anthony to pursue other people. Yeah, he's always done Amber like that. Did the actress Christy Bethany really end up in the hospital? It kind of looks like it. Really, Magnolia? I hope not. Wow. That wouldn't be good. New skit, Shayla telling Honeypot Wayne is her last chance? Okay, Shayla. Wow. Okay, let's see. What do we have now? Gwen says Brittany Backus is a practicing attorney, managing partner at her own firm. So she's in Georgia. She's not in Arizona because she did an IG saying she had moved to Arizona. So if she's back in Atlanta, that would be nice. And an ordained minister. I know she's an ordained minister because her preface is Reverend. Mm-hmm. Sure is. Thank you for that, Gwen. And Gigi says, "Can Denisha has changed since she started working with Tamara, but I still believe she will go out to rich men. She doesn't want to be with a broke person. That's always been her and Momo's plan. She's actually the teacher. She used to, not lately though, keep Momo in line, and she didn't necessarily keep Melissa in line, but she would always be there for Melissa. Because if you think about it, Momo is definitely about your pockets, except for Damien, because Damien does not give Momo money, right? Everybody else does, but not Damien so much. And it's going to be a good story with Angelina and Sincerely, and we're ready. I'm ready for it. When she saw that name or the picture, Angelina says, "Let me go call Shayla." Bethany, new skit. Michael, keep us posted on what's going on because I don't want to show any video, like right now anyway. I'll go back to it later, but I had to go delete video out of all of my videos. And that took me a while because I see something coming down the pike. I truly do. And I don't want any part of it. So I'm already ready for it. And I thank everybody who has rewatched or replayed a video. Just, turn it on. Don't mute it. Turn it on and just, and just let it go. Please. Okay. And then I can get my hours back and qualify way before the 28 days. Okay, let's see. Abby says, what y'all talking about? I didn't watch Angelina and Shayla's skits because I can't stomach the nonsense. Actually, Abby, she's been working with Brody, Angelina. So she's not as much into Shayla's business these last, I guess, couple of weeks. She's been working with Brody. They even kissed one night. So I think Brody's feeling like I got my woman back, basically. And I understand now why when he told Pam that Angelina never let him be the man. Look at how he calls things. And like her or not, Angelina's a lot of things, but she's smart. She knows business. We may not like Angelina. I mean, I know I don't, the way she did Amber and Anthony's marriage, but she's smart. And she knew exactly that woman was not who she pretended to be. She went and did the research on those people. Brody didn't do any research other than researching Sincerely. Kiki told Terry, go upstairs. Kiki told Terry, go upstairs with his baby tears. Kiki is hilarious. I mean, she is something else. But she's looking at these adults, no doubt, thinking, what's wrong with these people? Like she told them, I learned from you. And Kiki is the one with the common sense, even though she might be a mean little girl right now. But Kiki stands on point. And when she says, nope, I'm not doing it, she means, nope, I'm not doing it. Okay, Gwen says, Shayla is still trying to push Tamara on Wayne. Shayla needs to go sit down. Just leave people alone. And I don't know if they realize the more they try to make Shayla likable, she's not. Instead, they have her trying to do things that nobody likes. So how are you supposed to make people like her when you keep writing her character to be this whatever? Nature says Kiki is smart. She's a smart little girl. She observes them a lot. Some kids will act out when there is high conflict, dysfunction, and lack of support from a home environment. Yes, absolutely, Nature. And the fact that Sydney told her to cut up only doubled down on what you just typed. I mean, yeah, she's twice what she was. Don't tell your child to go act up to destroy something, that because she wanted to get her baby back. Tiffany put Libby out of her. She put Libby out of her car. So Tiffany is beefing with Libby now again. And Juanita's laughing at Carla. Magnolia says she screamed. And Libby and Terry created that side of Kiki to come out. Sydney should have taken her while Terry and Libby work out their marital relational problems. And I guess this is karma for what he was doing to Dom and Jocelyn, and whoever else he did. Some other lady came in there too. And then Bethany is playing the sick card to get sympathy. Abigail would definitely run Anthony's pockets. Oh, yes. What is that? Dust. Okay. Yes, she would definitely run his pockets. Gwen says she must have called the ambulance because Larry said her car was there. Hi, Janet. Good morning. Welcome in. Good morning. Good morning, Nonya and Buttercup and Chatters. Good morning. Gwen says Magnolia, she's laughing. Marion West says Anthony doesn't mind giving his pockets. Abigail got caught up when she intervened with Ben and Danielle. You're right, Marion, that Abigail is part of Delicia's crew. Good morning, Janet. People are speaking to Janet. New skit, Shayla trying to talk to Mara into taking Wayne back to get the money and the housing. Magnolia says, free Amber, I agree. And Shayla is the sense of normalcy now in Skitland. What's wrong with that picture? It ain't working. It's not working. Okay, let's see. Give Denisha a different storyline. They're going to mess up her character. She's trying to change her ways. Because when she first came into the skits, boy, she was not one to play with. And then she gets a job. She's doing a great job. Now, Gigi, I really hope if Denisha starts dating Anthony, it's going to cause a problem with Tamara and Shayla's friendship. That is probably a good point. And then Marion says, is Wayne low-key trying to move Ant out of the way so he can find out who Amber's giving her? Yeah, Marion, yes. I say yes that way because he already said he's going to be on the podcast now. Remember, he wasn't supposed to be on the podcast. He wants to be on the podcast because he wants to know who Amber's messing with. He wants to know who this man is. And Amber's not telling anybody. Wayne is just mad Amber turned him down. Happy Memorial Day, Janet. Shayla is so annoying. She is. And I don't know how he thinks people are going to start liking her. I just don't get it. Unless he feels he can get impressionable people to turn and be like, oh, we feel sorry for Shayla. Okay. Yeah, they can do that because I can't. I don't feel sorry for Anthony. I don't feel sorry for Shayla. Shayla lost her mind and is delusional. Gwen, I think I'm still wondering what kind of medication Shayla used to take, the one that Ash asked her about. And then Shayla also asked Diesel, what kind of medication did he take? So there's that part. And Nature says, Marion, Wayne is watching Tamara, yet curious about Amber's new love interest. Wayne is always watching Amber. And that is a fact, Nature. Always. Oh, O'Neill chat, everyone is saying Dave is worse. Okay. Good for them. Have fun with that over there. Marion says, oh, I already read that part. Wayne is a snake who thinks he have a chance with Amber, but not if Dave has anything to say about it. Exactly, Angela Atkinson. Um, Honestly, I don't pay a lot of attention to what a lot of the content creators say these days. I really just rather focus on my channel. I mean, I do want to know, but for the most part, I really don't give much credence to what they say, you know. Let's see. Happy Memorial. Oh, Nature says, Janet, happy Memorial Day. Thank you for joining us with tea. And I put a teacup. You guys notice? That's not the same teacup. The other one I thought was prettier because the flower that was in it kind of looked like a buttercup. But then it was gone. When I went to load it this last night, that cup was gone. So I had to find another one. So I found about 3 or 4 other teacups to put on. So, but I like that. And then we have the wine, and yeah, so that's pretty cool. And then Janet says, "Happy Memorial Day! Thank you for joining us for tea." Good morning, everybody. Let's see, and with the chat, our buttercups, our chatters. That's what we do. We chat. We chat about everything, not just Country Wayne. We chat about whatever you want to chat about. Personal, but we remember this is social media, so we got to be careful what we say. And because once it goes out, it's never coming back. There's nothing we can do to stop it, like nothing. So just careful what we say, especially me because I talk so much. I'm always talking, but thank gosh I don't have I just have to be careful not to put other people's business out there and my own skeletons. I don't mind talking about my first divorce because this is about a divorce. And I just happen to know a few things, even though I live in California. The laws they're different, but not that different than Georgia. Now, Country Wayne's laws, who knows? Marion, how they know that Dave has nothing to do. Okay, I'm gonna skip that part because I'm really not into that kind of just throw it up in the air and see what happens. I rather stick to the storyline. They don't know anything about Dave yet. So I'd rather just not entertain it. Amber is doing more producing and directing. Yes, she is, Marion. Hi, Janet. And then done. Gwen says done. Shayla wants Tamara to have low self-esteem like her and beg Wayne to take her back, like Shayla begged Anthony and Amon. She wants Tamara to apologize. Tamara didn't do anything except voice her own opinion and ask. I'm sorry, I had to move this. She voiced her own opinion. The one thing Tamara could have done was to cook. She could have did that. Denisha ain't getting Amber's share of the money. Tina, hi Tina, welcome in. Happy Memorial Day. Tina says hi, chat family. I like Delicia. I do too. Miss Fatale, this is really typical Wayne writing. He adds more characters into the chaos instead of ending the chaos and always letting something happen, something new start. That's exactly how he writes, Miss Faye. And I think that some of it is so that we can forget. Like a lot of people, they either forgot, they don't know what happened, They don't. They get the storylines mixed up. They just don't know. Or either they don't care, they forget, they believe anything they hear. They think that content creators and reviewers, or reviewers, I should say, are right about everything. We're not. We don't work for Country Wayne. We look at the same skits that you guys look at. We all look at the same skits. The only difference is that a lot of us, like Marion and Magnolia and whoever else, um, we just happen to watch lives and we subscribe, we follow these people just to see what's going on outside of the skits. And, that's how we know something more about the players. Like the ladies went out and looked up just to see who Dave was. Doesn't mean he's going to be a ball player in the skits. He's a marketing specialist, but he's a retired basketball player for the Seattle Supersonics. So when they talk, I really, I mean, I don't mind you telling me, but I don't give a lot of weight to a lot of the content creators anymore. I just don't. They just make up stuff on the fly, and that's fine. That's what they do. That's fine. Okay. Marion says, Angela, because they said he has money, and reference back to the skit Anthony told Amber why men like him and Wayne. Okay, Marion, that's for over there, because that's them making up their nonsense, and we don't make up things. I mean, I appreciate you reporting that to us, but we know that's not true, and I don't. People in this chat and the wine chat, we come here for graciousness. We come here to chit chat. We don't come to debate what, the negativity. If the negativity isn't real, then I prefer not to address it. I'm not going to hash over what they're talking about. Honestly, I really don't care. I care about what we're talking about. I care about what Nature thinks, Tina thinks, Angela thinks, you think. I care about what Michael Brown thinks or George Sims. I care about what Street Poet says, because in the comments, if you put something in there, the majority of us are going to respond, because we try to keep it 100 from what we can see. That all that made up stuff, I don't entertain fortune tellers, because nobody knows what's happening in these skits. Nobody knows what's going to happen. They just throw things out there to throw them out there and see if they can get clicks. So anyway, Denisha. Yes, Tina. And then Angela, let's see, Nature says, hello, Tina. Happy Memorial Day. Thank you for being with us and sharing tea time. We appreciate you being here. I truly do too. Thank you, Nature, for that. I vote for Amber to stay with Dave. So do I. There's something going to be wrong with Dave, of course, but for now, Dave is in love, and Dave is not trying to let her go. And like it or not, she's in a relationship after a year and a half, almost 2 years of torture. Now, who can say they could deal with that for almost 2 years? I don't know. I couldn't. I would have been gone. But Angela says, Marion, but men like him marry Amber, but it is because Amber say women like her would not date him in college. That actually high school, Angela. That conversation in the bedroom was high school, because guys like Anthony don't get the cool girls, not typically. And that might be a part of Anthony's problem, right? Could be. It could be that he didn't get those girls, and he finally got one. And what is she payback for everybody who didn't talk to him? Is that his little man complex? We don't know, but that's a very good point. And please continue to point out facts that we've seen in the skits, because there are a lot of people who don't even know half of the skits that exist. I mean, for people not even to realize Amber helped save that man from bankruptcy and save that house, we know they've got to be new to the skits. So they jump in the country, Wayne comments, and they just follow the leader. Nonya, Gigi says, you're speaking facts about Anthony. Amber isn't perfect, but she changed to be a good wife to him. And he has not appreciated her. Not one day he deserved for somebody to take his money. And you know the thing about it, Gigi, it doesn't even start with the Shayla affair. He did that because he was still stuck on Roe, and he married Amber anyway. And so he stopped Rolanda's wedding. That was the first thing he did. Well, not, well, yeah, let's say that's the first big thing he did, was to stop that woman's marriage, which happened to turn out good for Rolanda. But that was the first thing he did. That was way before Shayla. Mm-hmm. And then Gigi says, oh, yeah, I read that one. Carolyn says, do you all think something is wrong with Amon? Why is he spending all his money on 2 households paying to play? Does he have to pay to play? No, he doesn't. If you don't have money, would he have those women? First of all, the thing about him, in the skits, apparently he's got the money, right? In the skits. What he has in real life, we don't even want to guess, but he is a single man, number one. Number two, if any of us decided to mess with somebody and they said, okay, I'm going to give you $15,000 a month to be here, be my girlfriend. But now I have another woman over there. If we decide, okay, we can handle that and we want to deal with it, in my honest opinion, that's on the woman. Is it really on Iman because they said yes? Is it? He's single. And if they don't want to be a groupie, because believe me, with sports players, there are groupies everywhere. If they don't want to be a groupie, then they should move on. So, do I blame Iman? I blame Iman for being a nasty man. But do I blame him about these 2 women? Nope. Nobody told him to say okay, right? And Iman, with his dumb self, listening to Wayne, who pays women to be a contractual gold digger. And that's what Wayne is basically saying. Sarah's a gold digger. She has her own podcast and she talks about it. So she will never be with a broke man. But gold digger may not be the best word for it. They don't want to be with broke men. But these 2 women, Delicia and Shayla, they made that choice. So do I put that on Iman? No. Do I put his nastiness on him? Absolutely. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. I know you speaking facts. Okay, thank you, Gigi. And at that, Carolyn's, that's what Amber told Anthony. Remember, she said, you want to be in these streets. Yes, you'll be much happier when we're divorced. She definitely told him that, and she told him the truth. He wants to be like Wayne. Remember, they had the conversation about how the funny guys would always get the girls, the smart guys would never get the girls. And then Amber said, because the smart guys would always sit around and make fun of the girls. So yeah, Amber and Wayne, 2 peas in a pod. One is funny, one's not funny. Okay, Nature, I agree. Wayne is not going to do the traveling out dinners thing. Hemi Girl says, I just saw Keisha this morning. Oh, they're back taping at the restaurant. That'll be interesting. That's absolutely true. Shayla is rotten. She will forever be jealous of Amber, and she tries to play in her face and use her. And I think, Gigi, honestly, I think also those questions that Shayla refuses to answer that have to do with Kai, that Amber keeps asking Shayla about, Shayla won't answer them. She doesn't realize Anthony has already answered them, but Shayla won't. And both Anthony and Shayla keep telling Amber, why do you keep wanting to talk about the past? because you almost destroyed this woman's life. That's why she talks about the past. There's a baby running around. And if Amber wanted to unalive herself, yet these two people don't think that that's important because they're that selfish and self-empowered for themselves, then shame on those two people. And that's just my humble opinion, honestly. Shame on them. And then Nature says Angela Atkinson, he should be learning from all of this so he can be a better man for the rest, for the next one. Yes, he should be. If he doesn't, he will transfer those unhealthy ways or personality onto the next woman. And Nature, I think that's exactly what Coco was telling us, because we don't know his secret, but we know he did something to another Black woman. And she's telling him, don't do it again. Don't do it to Amber. Whatever he did, it had to be something similar to this, because Coco said she had to go get him and save him from himself or whatever, right? And the other thing I like about this is that you all are so in tune to the storylines that you carry this channel with your knowledge. I mean, I know a lot, yeah, but you guys carry it. And that's what we like. Just like when Hemi Girl came up with I think it was you, Hemi Girl, right? With the David and Bathsheba storyline. And when I presented it, it was like a joke to people. They were like, what? No. And now it's making its rounds. So Hemi Girl, yeah, you get a shout out. Because now it's making its rounds. Because it makes sense. And that's the book that Wayne is always in, reading about David and Bathsheba. And we know Uriel would be the unaliving of the Dalton marriage. And that was Bathsheba's husband. Let's see, Hemi Girl says when Amber wanted to close the restaurant and Anthony didn't want to help her, he told Amber that she's a praying warrior, a prayer warrior. So she should pray about it. And then Dave drops out of the heaven. And Hemi Girl, I don't think you were around, but I said, and we do give credit in here, and I take my credit because I always see my stuff popping up. We see a lot of our stuff popping up. But I said, Dave is going to be a godsend to the Daltons. I didn't know if it was going to be Amber. I thought it would be Anthony. But look where he is. Right? So yes, Hemi Girl. Absolutely. Dave drops out of the heavens. But and then Angela says, but Nature, I still believe he was like that before he met Amber. I think this is the real Anthony too. I totally think this is the real Anthony, not the one that just showed up one day. And then Carolyn says, where do you all think Amon took Delicia? They never showed us. Probably just dinner. Because I thought they were going to end up running into Amber, but I know Amber's probably on vacation with her son, or something like that. But they never did show us, so they probably went shopping, or because he knows she likes to shop. So that and dinner maybe. But notice, he takes Delicia outside. He knows these women extremely well. Shayla is for the house. She goes nowhere. She's there for a reason. And then Delicia goes everywhere. Look, she went to the championship game. He didn't care about her being seen on the film footage. He did not care. He didn't care. And then he probably would have told Shayla if she had seen it or brought it up that she saw it. Because did she really see it and not know she saw it, or didn't believe she saw it? All he would have said was, well, she is my stylist. So she was there, so I offered to take her. That's all he would say. He would just keep lying like he always does. And then, let's see, Abby says, Angela, exactly. Those same men hate when Annie and Wayne pay to play. But the women should be shunned for taking the money and should have substance, but the men just need to bring money and nothing else. And that's the problem. And then also, there is a huge movement. There appears to be anyway. I don't know. I don't, really keep up with that much of it. And thank goodness my daughters are married. My son is not going to give you his money. But the movement and the podcasts that are out that women should get something for their time. Really? Really? That's what they're teaching the new generations? That makes you think. Yep. Um, let's see. Gigi said Larry told Bethany they could have a conversation about their marriage when he finished with everything for Brooke. They're coming home today. Bethany is shooting for empathy. If she weren't so jealous and mean spirited, she's so jealous of Shara anyway. Shara and Larry are friends. They were drunk the other night and they fell asleep when they were both sitting there talking about Brooke and finally realizing Brooke is not as smart as she needs to be. Yeah, and she's not, and we know it, and it's sad. She's been sheltered for so long. I'm thinking Bethany, that's what I was thinking, Gwen. Bethany had a panic attack. She has one of those heart monitor leads. I believe Bethany is trying to get sympathy, probably. Probably. Let's see. On Nature said Gwen Eves, no, Wayne isn't going to do it at all. Amber wants those activities in her lifestyle with her man. I kind of think that Amber found another Wayne when she met Anthony. She did. Ant just married her. Exactly. I agree with you 100%, Nature. 100% I agree with you. And you know what else I think? Nature, and I'm not superstitious, but when Wayne gave her that trophy that said perfect wife, I think that was a jinx. I think that was a jinx. And Wayne probably knew she would be the perfect wife. He just wasn't ready to get married or commit. Let's see. And Angela says simply, exactly. Look at now encouraging Anthony to go after Denisha. So he'll leave Amber alone. Tell him to sign the papers. Shayla can tell him, sign the papers. She lie about everything else. Just say, if you sign the papers, I might talk to you, Anthony. Would he sign then? We don't know. Might. And Nature says, Angela Atkinson, as hard as it was for me to accept this form of Anthony, I know you all are right. He wanted him to stay sharp, sophisticated, charismatic, and professional as he started. And see, when you present to me as being perfect, like I'm still watching Dave, because when you present to be perfect, I'm going to watch you. I am, no matter who you are. But maybe Dave is Dave. I don't know. And Gigi says that Anthony Shayla garbage hit close to home. I know people, yeah, I know people have went through stuff like that. It's why I stopped watching. A lot of people stop watching because they can't deal with this kind of stuff. I mean, these skits are to a certain degree educational, but do they ever people ever finish getting a diploma or a certificate in good sense? They show these skits, they show the ugly, but does Wayne ever really show the good? Does he? Not really. Okay, Gigi says that Anthony, oh, I read that one. Sorry. Carolyn Brown says Bethany has a problem with Lynette and Shara because they gave him children and she can't. Plus, she's racist and bigoted. Carolyn, absolutely. And I think if anybody, she needs to worry about Lynette. Lynette is I don't know if Lynette does it to antagonize Bethany or if she does it because, I mean, not Beth, yeah, to antagonize Bethany, or does she really like Larry? Now, Shara tells him to back off, but when you're friends, you're friends. And they are friends. Does Larry like Shara? He does. Did they fall asleep? They did. But there was nothing to it. Larry was drunk. They're on Bourbon Street. Of course, you're drunk. If you drink, you're drunk on Bourbon Street. And they fell asleep, trauma bonding, basically over Brooke, because they both realized Brooke is not as smart as we thought she was. She's not as ready for real life as we thought she was. Um, Carolyn, that's the perfect comment because that's exactly who Bethany is. And let's see. Then we've got, oh, hi, Trap Star. I missed you. I was like, uh-oh, where's Trap Star? Let me see if I have her email. Go find out what did I do wrong. Not chase you off. Hi, Trap Star. Happy Memorial Day. I'm so glad to see you. So glad to see you, Trap Star. And Trap Star says, hi, everyone. Nature says Larry was having too much fun with Shara. He likes Shara. I mean, he likes all of his people. He likes Bethany. And remember when he was having the flashback about Bethany and how loose she was when she was partying in New Orleans? I think that's the Bethany he married. I do. And now she's not that Bethany anymore. And people do change, some for the better and some for the worse. But yeah, Larry had too much fun with Shara, Lucretia, Brooke, Isaiah, um, his mom, Faith, Destiny, Duchess in New Orleans. Yes, something about stress. Hi, Carol CC. And they had fun. I love their road trips. I do. We're not gonna talk about Brooke. Nate, little Bethany. We're not gonna talk about her because she's gonna learn when she goes off to college to shut her mouth. It's Bethany getting her karma by Shara and Larry. I kind of hope not. I don't want to see Shara below her image because she's always telling him, go home to Bethany. That's your wife. Go home to your wife, Larry. She's always telling him that. So leave Shara alone. And I don't know what happened to Joelle. She kept asking him, what do you want? What do you want? Maybe he was after one thing. We don't know. He just disappeared after that one night. And then nobody knows that they can sneak on the DL. True. Hey, Trapstar, Gwen says, Trapstar, Wayne keeps stalling the divorce. He needs to end it. I wish he would. Like, just come on. You already butchered it, hammered it, beat it, stepped on it, stomped it. Can we move on? Honestly, we the viewers are tired. We're tired. We need something fresh. Trapstar says he's stalling. I don't want to see Amber and Anthony married and both dating other people. Me either. And living in the same house. It's a mess. We don't either. Let these people move on and be happy with somebody. I don't care, even if he's happy with Shayla. Go be with Shayla. Just I have to woosah. Yeah, exactly. And free Amber. Let that woman go. It's time for a judge to rule in the divorce so both Amber and Anthony can start new storylines with new people. And that would be the best thing. Is he really? I know he can't possibly think that the audience is going to like them just staying together. Can Wayne really? I mean, if he's such a good guy in starting these mini skits, what would make him think that that's still a bestseller? Doesn't mean that they have to be totally apart, but we don't want to see this. This is toxic. It's ugly. It's degrading. No one wants to see this. And now we got DV. No, Wayne. I don't want to see Shauna at that restaurant anymore. The problem is she owns the restaurant Trap Star, and that's one of Wayne's in-laws. So I think we're stuck with Shauna for a while. Janet says, Nonya, what do you think about Angelina? I don't know yet. Um, it makes me think that maybe Shayla either did something with Sincerely's husband, or maybe Shayla's not Angelina's biological daughter, or they stole Shayla, or something. Something about Shayla. I really just don't know. I'm guessing like everybody else, you know, but it's something about Shayla. That's for sure. Mm-hmm. Nature says, Angelina Atkinson, you're right. He's been hiding who he is to Amber, and so good. That's his lawyer pointed it. She pointed it out also. Which, who did you present yourself to be when you met Amber? Right? And I'm sorry, Nature. It is why he needs to go to counseling. These games cannot be played. Exactly. And Marion, I only still watch the skits to see the AAS storyline come to fruition. And I think Wayne knows that. I do. I think that's why he just keeps dragging it out, but it's going to fall flat. Alexis Tamara is missing her king. And you know, I thought about you this morning, Alexis. I was actually hoping that Wayne would have a change of heart. I really, really was. Because when he looked at her and then he had that blushy looking smile, I was really hoping he was going to change his mind. Did I think about you? I absolutely did. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Yeah, he has been hiding. Yes, I read that already. Marion says, I only still watch. I read that part. And Tamara's missing Wayne. She is. Bethany does want a lot of the control. Bethany wants to control everything, Carol. Every movement, every thought, everything. Bethany wins the facial expressions. Bethany is an excellent actress, though. I mean, who can keep all those lines, all those lies, and this big circle of yarn of everything she's ever done? And this is improv for the most part. They probably have a history, but Bethany is good at it. And you know, she can dance in real life. That lady can dance. No Shayla, no Wayne. Okay, Carolyn Brown. And then let's see. This one says, good morning, Alexis. She is. And I think he misses her too. Because that look on his face, Gwen, was happy. At the end, before they went in the house, that was happy. It was. And then Gigi says, Amber has range, and that makes her acting so incredible. Bethany is that way. She has range. Mm-hmm. Hi, Alexis. I think we probably all thought about Alexis this morning because Alexis wants her two people back together. And then Abby says, yes, Trap Star, they can keep those restaurant skits, but he won't separate. Oh, but you know what? I wonder if Dave is going to come into the restaurant. Maybe if Amber has to go into the restaurant, Dave might come into the restaurant also to see how things are going. That could lead somewhere, right? So that would be the only thing I would be looking for. The rest of the nonsense, not so much. And they can keep those restaurant skits, but he won't separate them because Amber's fans won't watch Shayla. True. I mean, Amber wasn't here, so I was just kind of like, yeah, pick this, pick that in the skits. And he knows we want to see Amber and Dave. Wayne knows. But maybe he's coming into the restaurant. And maybe Anthony will meet the marketing specialist. Anyway, please join me, Nonya Sis, 9:15 Pacific Time, 12:15 Eastern, 11:15 Central. Have tea with me. And notice I'm naming it new live stream or something to that effect. I'm going to name all of them that are our chats with that name. And because apparently the algorithm is picking it up, it's asking me all kinds of questions. Why do we like Amber? And all these questions. And I'm like, wait, what is this? It just popped up on one of my videos. It wasn't like just a regular summary, it was a questionnaire. And I was like, wait, what? And why did I delete 51 shorts from my account? I deleted 51 shorts. So when you look at my shorts right now, they're going to look different because I need to get cleared. And I did, I think, find out the reason this morning. I actually got somebody to chat with, and it wasn't a bot. So that was good. Okay, we're going to get out of here. It is, what is it, 10, 11, 12. It's 1 o'clock there where you are if you're on the East Coast. Trapstar says, Wayne knows Shayla is not a star. He does. That's why he tied Amber and Anthony to her character. It's unfair to the actors and the fans. You can't shove mediocre person on the audience. We haven't changed. We still don't like her. And then to give her the worst line, like, are you trying to see if people will go along with her because she's a cheater? She's a homewrecker? A science experiment is what I call it. But I'm just me. Anyway, Trapstar says, Tamara looks so desperate. Wayne needs to have her stuff packed and delivered to a place of choice. And then Marion says, Anthony knows who he is. He knows he likes to be outside and wants Amber to be okay with it. That's right. And that's why Amber told him he doesn't know what a husband is or what he should be. Hi, TT. Good morning, TT. Good morning. Good morning. TTG Mom is in the house. Welcome in, TT. I'm glad you popped in just to see what we do here. Usually we just talk about anything. We can talk about the skits. We can talk about women's stuff. We talk about everything. And I'm not sure how late you stay up at night. I do have a wind down, but it's spelled WINE. And again, it's not designed to be just about skits only, but if that's what the chatters, my buttercups, our buttercups, if we want to talk about the skits, we talk about the skits. And TT, I know you'll be happy. I got rid of 51 shorts, by the way, but only for cleanup reasons. And there's no music in my new shorts, TT. I know how you feel about the music. Believe me, I did not forget. So just so you know, there's no music on my skits, TTG Mom. And I'm glad you're here. It's good to see you. It really is. So thank you. And Gwen says, Shayla doesn't have anything to stand on, but she is milking Anthony and an extra, and for the extra 4K. But did Amon look surprised that Anthony was still paying bills? Or was that just me imagining that? Because he made it sound like one of those girls is not Brody's. I believe that Trapstar because he actually opened his mouth to say it, and Angelina caught him. They were upstairs having an argument. But did anybody think that Amon looked like he thought Anthony wasn't doing what Amon thought Anthony should be doing for Shayla? And where they get this, take care of your baby mama. The average Black person can't even pay their own bills. How are they going to give somebody $15,000? I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, I don't know what's in other people's pockets, but, come on. Or take care of the baby mamas like that. I guess in Skitland, right? I call it Skitland. And then why is Tamara keep just taking one piece of clothes because she wants Wayne to make her stop. Hi, Diamond. Welcome in, Ms. Rodriguez. How are you? Welcome, welcome. Carolyn Brown says, hi, TT. Trapstar says, hi, Carolyn. And Gigi says, does Denisha know Anthony? Yeah, well, she does now because Tabera told her. But Denisha did learn at the birthday party when Erica was about to get into it with Shayla. Um, she did learn from Amber that Shayla had a baby with Amber's husband. And when it went off, Denisha was like, what? And was over there talking to Amber and Erica. So, but now she knows because Tamara told her. So we'll see what Denisha does with that. Aunt Carol, my aunt, was a singer and an actress. She didn't like the hype of being noticed as an actress. She wanted a normal life. And she wasn't working in both of her professions. I get that. Trapstar, hello. Good afternoon, TTG Mom. Welcome in. Welcome in, TT. I'm glad to see you. I am. And I said, oh, she's going to be happy the music is gone. But you know what? I figured out another way to turn it down too, by the way, just so you'll know. Okay, I'm going to wrap this up because I know you guys have other things to do, but let me go ahead and finish these up. Trapstar says, hi, Simply. Diamond says, Marion, that's absolutely what he wants. He wants all the benefits of having a wife without doing any of the work required of a husband. Diamond, that's a bar. And that is the truth. And yes, Marion, you are correct. People are saying hello to Diamond and TT. Anthony has to have more than one supply as a narc. Yeah, he needs both supplies. He needs Shayla and he needs Amber. So let's see. Which was Amber? He may have lost one, which was Shayla. Denisha would be no, not Denisha. Denisha is on the Amber list. Denisha is no Shayla. Not well, she is in the on the money side, but Denisha is tougher unless they dumb her character down. But Denisha is tougher and smarter than Shayla. And she's very direct and to the point. Exactly. Teapot fetching one coat hanger at a time. Girl, let it go. Wayne he'll always play in your face. His grandma already told him, don't believe Wayne. But she did anyway. Her dad, though I don't like his delivery, was on point as well. Right? And then we've got Simply says exactly Teapot fetching one coat hanger at a time. Yeah, he's going to play in her face. Anthony, it's cheap. Denisha won't stay long. Exactly. Denisha ain't for that. Trapstar, I think Shayla is not Brody's dad and Angelina is, and Angelina's not her mom. And you know, I thought a long time ago, did they steal Shayla? Like, is that somebody else's child? Who's Joe? You know what I mean? Like, something about Shayla. Something's wrong there. And Trapstar, Angela, Tamara is trying to ease her way back into Wayne and the lifestyle. That's why she hasn't gotten an apartment, why she keeps coming to get one piece at a time. But see, the problem with Tamara is that she's not made for that life. Remember when Piari used to want to go in the club, but she'd sit in the car and get drunk? He would tell her, no, don't come in the club. And then she'd start bringing her alcohol and sitting in the back of the car. Tamara is too jealous and too insecure. I mean, she wants to beat up on Amani. Amani didn't do anything. Amani don't care. And she treated Amani like garbage. Diamond says, Marion, yes, it's also almost as though he feels entitled as a transaction. That's what he treated her like a transaction. I mean, when a man hands you a contract to sign, wouldn't you want to know, why are you giving me this? It's the same as what Iman is doing. And Iman got it from Wayne. Like, it's okay. we have money. We can do this because somebody's going to fall for it. This is what's being taught in the streets these days. Get your own, ladies. Get your own bag. A purchase for him to live as a single man and keep a wife. Yeah, that's Anthony. I'm being tricked. Danielle, he didn't go to church. Right. He didn't tell her about the hair investment for Abigail. Denisha is a professional wrestler. She is. She sure is pretty. She's a pretty girl. Not saying anything else. She's just pretty. I like her hair, her hairstyle, her French roll. If that don't remind me of the late 80s, I don't know what does, because I had my hair like that when I got married the first time. I love French rolls like that. And then Nature says, Danielle and Melissa's characters are in need of closeness, support, which they have learned inappropriate ways of attachment, possibly enmeshment. That's interesting. There's something they're looking for. And I'm like, where are their parents, or what's wrong with them? What's wrong with those two women? She's on weight loss journey. Bethany could have had something happen. And then Trapstar says, Amber asked Wayne to talk to Anthony about signing the papers. Instead, he's sitting there talking about other women. A grown man would tell him to sign the papers and move on. Shayla's trying to have Tamara get Wayne a house for her. I'm sick of them. I'm sick of Shayla and her lousy advice to people. For once, maybe she should listen to her mom and mind her own business. Shayla is not only a money grubber, but she takes her gold digging on the road, encouraging others to be freeloaders. Like, that's all she knows. Magnolia is just a skit. Hospital. And that was from Gwen. Nature says Melissa might be a late bloomer. Yeah, but what about Danielle? Hi, Angela Phillips. How are you, darling? Good to see you. How are you feeling? I hope you're feeling well. I do. And then Abby says, Gwen, like, where does Shayla's money go? I hope she's saving it, because she's not buying clothes. She's not doing anything, but she's always acting broke. She's a hoarder of money for some reason. Never pays for anything, even outside. Yeah. Such as Dumb Dumber Anthony hasn't asked about Kai, schooling, nothing. Exactly. And then Nature says, we would need to see Danielle and Melissa's family to know how they interact. Is order if Wayne will tell Amber about Anthony connecting with Denisha. I don't know, Marion. I don't know that Amber would care. I mean, she'll care that, because he just keeps doing stuff in her face to piss her off. But the thing is, you want to do all this stuff, sign the divorce papers and leave me alone. I mean, that's the point. He doesn't want to sign the papers, but he wants to keep doing this nonsense. And that's why when people, why is she fussing about the roses? Why doesn't he sign the divorce papers and leave that girl alone? Leave her alone. You just want to sit there and make other people's lives miserable? Is that it? What is wrong with Anthony Dalton? What? Something's wrong with that man. He probably won't, as long as Aunt bring in. But the thing is, Marion, remember the last skit? No, the skit before the last one with Anthony and Wayne. He told Anthony, I'm sorry. He told Anthony, you're not bringing in any money. But on the last skit that had Amber and Anthony, and they had Amber call on purpose. That was a written clue. He tells Amber one thing, that he makes money with Anthony, but he has already, just a couple of days before, told Anthony, you're not bringing in any money, man. What are you doing? You're not doing anything. But I think he might not be doing it because he doesn't want to make more money that he has to split with Amber. And then we had a couple of people, I do believe they didn't realize, well, that was just today, but before, people don't even realize Amber helped Anthony not to go broke and not to lose that house. There are people who just don't know that. So they think Amber's just out there with her hand out saying, give me 50%. Give her back the money she invested with compound interest. Give that back to her. Why you got to make a big deal of it? You take it to court. If Wayne lets it go to court, oh my goodness gracious. If they take it to court, the judge is going to say, what now? And let it not happen that Amber remembers that she has the original blueprints in her laptop that Brittany got for her. Because the judge is still going to say, where's this money? It's not like Anthony bought anything, right? Okay, I'm going to wrap up, guys, okay? Kiki, Nature says Kiki knows why. They should be acting like adults, not youngsters. Parents parent her and teach her good morals. Exactly. Gwen says, hi, Angela Phillips. Kiki's a great actor for her age. She is, TT. She is. I feel sorry for Kiki. Me too. Two timing free. Loading Terry. I'm sorry. I'm yawning. I need more coffee. My coffee got cold. Why bring her back around those sorry adults? Sydney is the worst. Libby and Genesis are cray-cray. Mary says Anthony wants to be like Wayne. He does. And he always has wanted to. People just didn't equate the two. I did. One just has money from working the books. The other has money because he's a comedian. The same two types of men that Anthony and Amber had a conversation about. Would Amber ever pick an Anthony in high school? And Amber said no. Amber said no. And then Simply says, hey, Trap Star, I hope you're having a great start to your week. The weekend on Skitland was trash. Abby, it was. I didn't bother watching that nonsense. Amon fake checking Anthony. You know what? They're just having a, how do I say, testosterone fight. That's all that was. That's all. And Shayla's standing there looking guilty, though. Like, yeah, I figured it was anxiety attack. Anthony standing there looking guilty, looking like, just watch me take Shayla back from you. And Mon just rubbing it in his face. Mon already told Shayla, go back with your baby daddy. You're getting a divorce. Right? So, Shayla, do they really want you? Either one of them? Anthony does, maybe as long as he knows that's his son. Mama's baby, Papa's maybe. But Wayne already said he's going to leave Kai as Anthony's child. He don't care what we think. They should have got the timing right when they made the video, but then I don't work there and I don't know, so I guess I'll be quiet and just do my reviews. Yeah. Okay. Wayne wants Amber. He still does for himself. That's why he's pushing Denisha on Anthony. I hope Amber listens to Dave and don't be on that 304 podcast. I agree, but there's something Amber wants to know. Plus, she wants to also get closer to the power base, which is Wayne in this case. Why Shayla didn't let Honeypot stay with her? I don't know, Michael. Because Delicia doesn't live there anymore, right? What, is it Shayla being Shayla? I don't know. I wonder. That's a good question, Michael. When I go and check out the skits after I'm done, I'm going to wrap up shortly. I just want to see the skit. Because why not let her stay there? She can't possibly be worried about Amon. Amon already busy with Delicia. And remember back when we thought Delicia was supposed to be the one that breaks them apart? I think it's going to be Lauren at the podcast if they ever get it up and running. And then Gigi says if Shayla can stay out of the Daltons' marriage and their house, drop a kid off and keep it moving, people could consider liking her. Well, people can. I won't. I don't like people who break up other people's marriages. Shayla, Dom, and Libby need to be on Genesis meds. They do. Michelle, I had said the same thing. Such a friend. Lil Puny Wayne is always whiting himself as God's gift. Yeah, he is. I wonder if he knows that we noticed that. You think he cares? Probably don't even care, huh? Michael, good question. I wouldn't want to stay with Shayla talking about a month every 5 minutes. Let's see. But that is a good question. I mean, why didn't she just say, "Well, come and stay with me"? That's a good question, Michael. Abby says Michael Brown Shayla has never been a friend. She allowed Delicia to stay with her for the plot. Even the audience said that that's not like Shayla, who couldn't even help Zachary. That's true. Wouldn't even help Zachary out. All of a sudden, she's a friend. No, remember, Abby, I don't know if you were here, but when I was over at O'Neill's, we were saying that Shayla had a built-in babysitter when Delicia moved there, because she did. Remember Delicia used to babysit Kai? Remember that? Mm-hmm. Hi, Tina. Carolyn Brown says hi. Shayla will apologize for anything to keep a man or any man that's in her life at the time. Yep. Very true, simply. Mm-hmm. And then Carolyn, I unsubscribe from the male content creators. I don't like the disrespect aimed at women and trying to make a moral equivalence and defending the indefensible. Yep. Hi, C Vlogs. What's happening? Happy Monday and happy Memorial Day, everyone. And to your family, if they have served, absolutely. Or lost someone. And C Vlogs is in the house. Angelina brought Delicia to the skits to help her hurt Amber, but it backfired because Delicia started liking Shayla's man. But it wasn't Anthony. It's Shayla's new man, Iman. It backfired on Angelina. Right, Carol? Absolutely. And she happens to kind of like Amber. So, and then Carol said, I'm sorry, I read that one. C Vlogs, hi. Carolyn saying hello. Magnolia, I did the same. Carolyn, and 2 female creators also. And then Michael Brown says, Gwen Eves, you got a good point. Mm-hmm. And Carolyn, let's see. Carolyn Brown, Magnolia, unfortunately, women are part of the patriarchy and are pygmies in a male-dominated society. And that's what we are, Carolyn, here. But that's not even just the Western Hemisphere anymore. That's where they want to take it back to. So I'm glad I have my husband. Oh my goodness gracious. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Whew. Simply says, yes, Carolyn, I did too. And the preacher guy couldn't hide his bias and had a big problem. Come on, guys. Come on. No name calling. Okay. Come on. Come on. Come on. We grown here. Someone's buying you or being generous. We date at our own tax brackets or above. We do. And I do believe now that part, people should recognize that for the most part, that is who we date. That is who we date. Our own tax brackets for the most part. And it may not even just be on purpose. Maybe it's somebody we work with. Who knows? Unfortunately, women are part of the patriarchy. We are. And we're the downtrodden side of the patriarchy. I'm going to go turn my music on when I'm done here. So I'm going to get out. Guys, it is 11:14. Napoleon complex. Yep, that's what he has. Exactly, Carol. Little man hurt feelings complex. Yep. That's why I say I don't stand with all women, because a good number are goofy pick-me-shas. Yeah, they are, Magnolia. And the ones that'll just stick it in your back, betray you. Better keep your head on a swivel and watch these people. The first thing that Anthony did to disrespect his wife in marriage, to make their honeymoon a business trip. Yeah, for their exes. Yeah, but you're right, Gigi. That is the first thing. That goes on in real life. Yes, Michael Brown, it absolutely does. And then people say, why do women scream so loud? Because what else can we do? Vote, whatever we can do. Lifetime has done several movies about women being kept single or married millionaires. Think positive and you move ahead. Think negative, you will fall behind. Miss Fatal, you're absolutely right. Think that you can and you will. It's all in the state of mind. Embrace the negative comments, turn them around with positivity. Right, simply, I was sick of the Amberite's name. I tell you, I'm not an Amberite. Don't call me that. I'm a Team Amber. I am an Amber fan. What's an Amberite? No, you guys be what you guys are. We don't need you giving us names, okay? We don't need it. We're Amber fans. Call us that. Don't be disrespectful. We didn't ask you to call us Amberites. What the heck is that? Sorry. But we don't need help. We really don't. Did y'all see King and Dan come? Yeah, I did. Well, we knew King came from money. Magnolia. Yep. I just figured it the way he was acting. Plus, he's a content creator. He's a major star also. And then Simply is telling Magnolia, yes, the women too. It's like they drank the Kool-Aid overnight. And do you know 57% stand for the patriarchy? Did you guys know that? If you look at the last election. Miss Fatal, I like that. Thank you. Gigi said, we also told Anthony, when you have a woman that's worth holding on to, you better do whatever you can to keep her. And Wayne wasn't talking about Tamara. Nope, he was not. He was referring to Amber. Some of these women are miserable themselves, and they have the best years of their lives to trash. You're bad. Not me, though. Magnolia, exactly. That's a you problem, not a me problem, as my youngest daughter would put it. You know, that's their problem, not my problem. Just stay away from them, you know. Sometimes it's too late. Well, it's never too late, but we find out and we're late to the game is what happens. But you still can get out. Anthony is so arrogant. He doesn't feel like he needs to change, and that's going to be hopefully the biggest part of his fall. Well, not the biggest, but a part of his fall. I think King's parents are millionaires. I do too. Carol. Carolyn, yes. So rude to people with opposing views, then sprinkle the Bible in. And that's why he spent his time trying to check the women commenters, calling them delusional Amberites. Okay, I don't really care what they say. I ignore them. Those are the kind of people that'll get under your skin. Okay? So those are the ones I'm always saying, be careful of. Be careful of them. We're not Amberites. We don't even know what the heck an Amberite is. They just make up stuff. A sassy pastor's nasty work. Can't take them serious. Okay, guys, I'm gonna have to skip some of these comments. All right, I don't want that on my on here. That's kind of not cool to be bashed, because somebody bashed me, and you guys told me. You know me, Magnolia. I'm be like, what? Yeah, I don't want to know what they talk about. I really don't care what they talk about. They have shown who they are. Do you, boo? Do you? Let's see. Magnolia King comes from money. Tamara's going to get get her king back real soon. Alexis. Probably Alexis. Lauren, you're in trouble. King told Dan Wayne broke up with Tamara. Wayne won't write Delicia to choose King. He's a good, solid guy. And she was honest. And that's the person that Delicia is actually happy with, you know? That's just the sad part. Okay, the podcast will be better off the chain. All the secrets will come out. Yep, Carolyn. Hi, Sandra. And everybody's saying hi to Sandra. Gigi says Bethany and Brooke's mom figure out for 5 years. And clearly she has not taught that child anything. Looking down on people, condescending, nasty mouth. Yeah. Okay, guys, I'm going to wrap it up at 11:30, okay? Hi, Sandra Smith. Hey, crew. Oh, happy day. Oh, happy day when Jesus walks. I can't sing a lick. Carolyn, I honestly think nothing major is going to fall flat because we hope they'll expose everything. I don't know. They always let us down, Abby. Hopefully this time they won't. Amber will leave Dave when she finds out about Melissa and Dave. What do we know about Melissa and Dave? We know what Melissa was dreaming about. What else do we know? Do we really know anything yet? Because believe me, I am watching closely, Michael. And when I say close, I mean all of those skits 3 or 4 times. I have it written down. I am watching. Oh, yes. Yeah, we have people who make up stuff about Dave. Nobody knows anything about Dave yet. That's why I don't listen to the hype. I don't believe in superstition, but that trophy Wayne gave to Amber. She put it in her mind to be the perfect wife. There's no such thing. Gigi, that's what I mean. There's no such thing. Yep. And then Nature says Wayne was hating that Anthony started dating Amber. Yep. When he found out about the two were dating, never said anything. He was upset with both. He may have jinxed her. He holds Amber on a pedestal. Well, let her off and let her free. Let Amber go. And we are Amber fans. I'm nobody's Amber right, whatever the heck that is. I'm an Amber fan. Let's keep it 100, okay? And Nature says Amber may be showing that trophy was representation for him, that Amber is the perfect wife for him. Exactly. He couldn't commit to her because he's for the streets. He knows that Amber was expecting more. No, Wayne wasn't interested in showing any good because he's convinced toxicity brings big views. Yep. You get 1 billion views in one day, let alone multiple billion views over a month. Why change it? You can still change it for the better. You might get more views we wouldn't be complaining so much. Don't nobody want to go in here and complain every day. Give us something. Dave's flaws are very apparent to me. He's generally principled, but he has shown he will break his own beliefs. Maybe, not often, but the right situation he might. You pick that up, Magnolia? Everything else is in place except this one. Okay, Nonya says, thanks you for joining. We appreciate you. Thank you for coming in. I am going to wrap it up. I agree, Magnolia. Dave isn't even still involved with Melissa. Everyone has a past. That's why it's laughable when the Bible thumper said Dave will leave Amber. I mean, you guys can talk about it, but I don't entertain them. They're going to thump anything. And that's the kind of things I'm saying. Don't let them get to you. Please don't let them get to you. Don't. Just don't. You know? We do need some normalcy. Yeah, Bethany has serious mental issues. All right, ladies and gent, I'm going to wrap it up. We do a wind down at night. I know it's late, but I did change it from it so it's 7 p.m. Pacific time. It's 10 p.m. Eastern time. We do basically the same thing. We talk about everything, not just skits. Even in here, I think this is the first time our whole show was dedicated to skits. We talk about all kinds of stuff, okay? So Sandra says these skits are some of the skits. They are. They are. What we're asking, Sandra, is that maybe Wayne can wrap some up and take them in a more positive direction. Remember the kid that Damien decided to help out? Whatever happened to him? You know, he was helping the kid get on the right path, and then poof, the kid's gone. They were screaming, Amber isn't wife. I'm not reading that because they're not upsetting me. I refuse. And I am serious. I don't want to read their nonsense. All I have to do is go to one person's page, read one comment, and already know what they're talking about. And I leave. I'm not doing it. They're not getting it. Wayne's not getting it. Mm-mm. That's that's their problem, not my problem. You guys can talk about it. That's fine. I'm just gonna skip it because I set this up so we don't have to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't care about them people. I mean, I care that they're okay, but they're nonsense. And some of them never liked her anyway, so I really don't care. I care about what you guys think, but you guys can talk to each other about that stuff because Auntie ain't playing with them. Yeah, it's so commercialized. Skit reviews are supposed to be just that, skit reviews. Papa Newberger was there. Okay. Wayne. I hope he does start new storylines because these are old and ratchet. They're over. They're just over. And maybe I'm hoping that's why he did their marriage this way, to be done with it. Like, can't glue it back to pieces. It'll take a miracle to get those two back together. Yeah, I don't know what they're doing with Natasha. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know. Going to the comments sometimes is worse, Gigi. As soon as you hit the comments, I saw some guy talking about, I am Anthony Dalton with this muscle arm. And I'm thinking to myself, that makes you proud? Really, dude? That being Anthony Dalton makes you proud? There's something wrong. And Carolyn says, please hit the like, share, subscribe. Baby girl is in the house. Baby girl, I'm about to wrap this up in 3 minutes. I missed you. I thought about you too. Welcome in, baby girl. Yes, Gwen, thank you. Please join me Monday through Friday, 9:15 Pacific, 12:15 Eastern, 11:15 Central for tea with me. And then I do what's called wind down so we can woosah, like just relax and let everything go from the day. Because buttercups need to buckle up. It's going to be a long, rough summer. And I already see it because they're getting to you guys with this Amberite stuff and these thumping people. Mm-mm. And I know, like, when I'm not here, I know there's not a lot to watch other than that. Not that I'm the only person. I'm not, but I don't watch them. I already know, and I'm like, man, I'm just cool on y'all. I can't. You know, they just go with the flow for the fans and stuff, right? Um, oh, she wants to see how Gladys was feeling. Yeah, I like her with Kendrick. I don't know why they took them apart. Okay, guys, I'm going to cut out, okay? Let's see. Anything else? I do like her with Kendrick. I know he's back in, I don't know. And Don. Hi, Humphrey. Hey, Steffi Mac. I'm sick of Don. Shayla's not Brody's. That's what I think too, Mary. I wonder if she's even Angelina's. But anyway, we better cut out, guys, okay? I'm just looking to see if there's something else that we don't already know. Yeah, I'm not feeling Jacoby with Natasha. That just doesn't even fit. Like, Natasha? But then Rose gone, so for now anyway. Denisha gonna dip in Anthony's pockets. Gwen says, Marion, shh, don't say that out loud. Whatever it was, Marion, please see what Gwen said. Okay, we're gonna cut out, guys. Okay, I'm gonna cut out of here because I really don't care about what other creators say, to be honest. Humphrey says, hi, Angela Atkinson. Tamara looks depressed. I'd say Shayla is saving money. I hope she is. Humphrey, welcome in. I know you guys are late. I do start at 12:15. Hi, Sabrina. Welcome in, dear heart. So I'm going to get out because Sharon's on now. So I'm going to cut you guys loose, okay? And if anything good happens, I did think about coming back on, but when I do that, then I get involved in doing other stuff around the house. Then it's too late, because I am married and I have to talk to my kids and, they're like, Mom, they don't bother me. They know what I'm doing. But if you get a chance, please just run some videos. If you guys could do that for me, that would be great. Just run some, you can, but not on mute, and just run some videos. I'd appreciate you for that. Anyway, let's go. Happy Monday. Have a wonderful Memorial Day. Bye, Amy girl. We'll talk to you later. Okay? And keep coming with the good stuff. Keep an eye out for the David and Goliath storyline. Let's see how they're using what Amy girl brought up. Okay? Because it definitely fits. David. I mean, not Goliath. Bathsheba. My bad. Okay. Talk to you guys later. Alrighty. Bye-bye. Have a good day. Have a good day, Denise. Bye, Gigi. Bye, Nature. Bye, Gwen. Bye, Michael. Bye, Angela. Okay, I'm going to push the button. Bye, Marion. Oh, you're welcome, Nature. Love you, girl. I missed you guys yesterday. A lot. Okay, talk to you later. And stay strong. Thank you. Okay, bye-bye.